Day 2, India versus Bangladesh, first test match indoor. Here we are on Cricbuzz Chatter. How much of the game have you already seen? Murali Kartik, I get the feeling we've seen almost all there is to be seen in this game.
Yeah, exactly. It's gone at a rapid pace, this one, with Bangladesh getting bundled out, and then the way Mayank Agarwal batted. Four bowlers, they were always going to tire, and then that's exactly what you want from a test player, isn't it? That you see through the initial spell and then miles in the legs of the bowlers and then capitalize and encash on the dead legs, tired legs. That's exactly what he did.
I'm glad you're smiling. I thought you were speaking out of personal hurt.
No, it happens every now and then, but again, for me, what stood out was that every time he ran at the spinner, he hit them for a six.
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever in doubt of what he wanted to do, and also, even if he was beaten, he still looked calm enough to hit the ball. So that's just outstanding. I've seen that of Inzamam ul Haq. Every time he ran at you, he was going to clear you. Till the time he didn't run at you. So outstanding from Mayank Agarwal.
You know what? We've talked so much about the flamboyant, pretty 2030 RCB Mayank Agarwal transforming into a proper opening batsman. And today, briefly, I thought we saw the re-transformation too. As someone who can play T20 cricket, someone who can hit the big shots. And it's good to see these two-in-one players now coming through. But there's something that is very likeable about Mayank Agarwal. And he went down to talk to Deep Das Gupta, and there he was like a little child who's just been called for a birthday party that he was hoping he'd be called to. There he was with a wide smile. And it's good, isn't it, Kartik, that when you're hungry, he's only playing his 12th innings, he's got two doubles, he's worked so hard. You know a thing or two about working so hard to get a break. And when that happens, it's a nice feel-good story.
Yeah, and also what he said was what stood out for me, that fear of failure was gone. I think that stands out because all of us have that fear of failure in any walk of life, and once that goes away, and the fact that you've seen some bad days, you only think that there can only be good days from here. I think it just stood out for me. And again, with all those shots, what also you have to mention is the way he was solid with his defense. I think that sometimes get underestablished or underrated because you see all those pretty cover drives, you see those pull shots, you see those hits downtown, but in between that, he was rock solid.
Without defense, you're a slogger, answer. I mean, you see a lot of those players who come in and bang, and they've got no defense to fall back on. And suddenly one day, it's not going in your favor. But that's a very interesting point in the context of the resurgence of Mayank Agarwal. Talking to Sanju Samson recently, and I said, what's changed? You got a double, in a 50-over game. He said exactly the same thing. He said, I've stopped my obsession. I've given up my obsession of playing for India. And that was good to see. So Mayank Agarwal, 243. It's not a bad start. It's as good as anybody has started.
Double hundreds in a matter of 2 months or 1 month.
Yeah, 1 month.
Yeah,
South Africa and now here. Yeah. And to think that he batted so well in Australia too, against that kind of bowling and a boxing day test match. So he's here to stay. Hopefully, it looks like that. He's here to stay.
Hopefully. And as you said, I think we have all this obsession or affinity towards good people, and I think so. You want him to do well. You never want him to fail.
He married the commissioner's daughter too. He told me we got something in common. My father-in-law was head of police too, so we have something in common. That's why I'm saying nice things about him.
I didn't know that.
Move away. Ajinkya Rahane. He's hit a purple patch. I'm so happy for him because he went through a couple of years. He was really struggling. Like me, did you also start to almost wish that he got it right? Because in your mind, you were wondering whether he was down to his last couple of chances?
No, I don't think so. For me, yeah, in a sense that last couple of chances, not from my viewpoint, but from the viewpoint of the others. Because here you are, an established player who's got runs everywhere. It's not as if he was failing. It's just that he was not getting hundreds. He was not getting those big scores we were used to. And from that point of view, I just waited and I was just hoping that the threshold level doesn't wear thin. Because you didn't want somebody like Ajinkya Rahane to be dropped in a South Africa Test series. And he was the difference between us and victory, the way he batted at Joburg. At the Wanderers Test match, I thought the way he played was outstanding. So I was just looking, why did they drop him? He was the vice captain of the side. How can he miss out on the first two Test matches?
Yeah.
And then that's where it was for me. It was not a question of him not getting hundreds. Yes, people go through. The greats have gone through not getting a wicket or not being able to buy a run. These things happen. That's what sport does to you. But it was just from others' viewpoint that I hope that they don't say, oh, just because he's a quiet guy, he's the first one to be evicted.
I paused because I let that sentence sink in. Just because a quiet guy, we don't want him to be evicted. It sounded very big bossy, but it's reality. It's just cricket. Jadeja, we saw the celebration from Jadeja again, but Umesh Yadav came out of that.
I was surprised actually when I saw. Looks like there is, because the way Mayank batted, we've seen Ravindra Jadeja take his time, and suddenly against an off spinner, he took a few chances and cleared it. And definitely there was this chat that we have quite a few runs ahead. The game's moving fast. Now that Mayank Agarwal has not got to his 100, we have 300 plus. I think it's enough to roll Bangladesh.
You know what I
again.
liked? I don't know if you picked. He played that shot.
Yep.
And I'm thinking 16th over IPL RCB can send
I
it
was
out.
looking along the ground. I didn't see it. I didn't see. I thought it was going along the ground.
And then he slogged another one of the quick bowlers. He's not just slogging the spinners. So we found an end over slogger.
He hooked one for 6.
There you go. He hooked one for 6 as well. I think found an end over slogger. Now, in the hot spot, you're Bangladesh, right? And you're not allowed the white flag. What would you have done to you?
Look, firstly, I expected the seamers to be a lot more disciplined in terms of the nagging lengths which were expected from them, which didn't happen. Ibadat started off nicely yesterday, and then again pitching too short. Yes, you're going to tire. The more you tire, the better it is to be further up rather than further towards your own end. And again, from a spinner's point of view, they keep saying that that's what they do. They only bowl spin in Bangladesh. But from a test playing nation and test playing spinners, there was no consistency, especially against India. If you're not going to be consistent, they are going to murder you.
I'm thinking about all these spinners who come to India, Keshav Maharaj, Dane Pete. They think, you know what? We're going to India at last.
Yeah, turning tracks.
Turning tracks. Then we look at these two at last turning tracks. These guys were going 4.5
4.5 and over.
Maharaj and Dane Pete are going at 5 and over. This is a different way of playing spin. These are not the old India tracks that we thought of. And so I'm afraid it's hard going unless you bowl as well as Ashwin did in that first innings. Time now for fast forward. Look at tomorrow. There's a declaration. I mean, there's got to be a declaration. Why would you send?
Exactly. Ashwin was not even padded up. When I saw him in the end, when the last over was there and they showed the dressing room, there were no pads. I'm pretty sure. There is a declaration in the offing, hopefully straight away. And then hopefully whatever is on offer, 3 seamers and then the 2 spinners. Get the act done.
Yeah, I'm not a betting man. Normally,
Either am I.
No, you are not either. And that's why I brought up the analogy. I wouldn't otherwise. But I don't expect the game to go into the 4th day.
Same here. Absolutely. If Indian bowlers have been as good as we have seen them to be in the last so many months, I don't think it should go into the 4th day.
I mean, if there was resolve in that Bangladesh side, it evaporated post-tea. When 190 runs were scored in 30 overs, that resolve evaporated. I'd love to see that resolve because you want to see Test cricket strong. You want to see teams fighting hard to win. But if Bangladesh can take the game into the 4th day, then I'll say well played. But I don't
It has to be a big effort from Mominul and Mushfiqul.
Okay, we'll wait and see.